Welcome to Crafty Hints. I'm Chantel. I am so glad that you've joined me today for some of my fall DIYs. These will all be with leaves and flowers. DIY 1. I'm starting off first with this crate from the Dollar Tree, and I'm using some Craft Smart antique wax on a wet wipe. This is a neat technique, so you don't have to brush it all on and then go back and wipe it off. You just wipe it all on and off at the same time. And you just want to make sure and get that nice and covered all around all the sides. I obviously didn't want to make you sit through me sitting there wiping that all on all the way around. Next, I took some wire cutters and trimmed down these Dollar Tree mums. I wanted enough to fill this box. I believe I used 2 bunches. Next, you'll want some floral foam, and I've used that for another DIY to poke in my pumpkins while they were drying. I took these wooden beads that already had a little bit of antique wax on them just to give my box a little bit of legs and just a tiny bit of height off of my table. So just a little bit of glue and stick those in each corner. I also have those pretty leaves from the Dollar Tree this year. They aren't like the silky ones. They're more of a thicker fabric. I really do like those. They match a garland that I bought from Hobby Lobby. So they're much more high end than what I've seen in the past. So this is one of the thinner ones, but I will definitely show you some of the thicker ones there. So I just wanted to take some of the leaves and glue them along the outside so that it wasn't just a box full of mums. I thought this would look so pretty, have a little bit of fall color, and I'm going to put this on my end table. Right now I have a different DIY that I did with some blue peonies. So I'm just layering these and trying to stagger the color. Obviously you don't want a set pattern because that's not how leaves work in the real world. So I just kind of stack them along and try to alternate a little bit. Now I'm taking some of the leaves that came with the mums just to add a little bit of green in, and then it'll kind of look like it's coming off of the mums as well. And I just trim those here and there and just place them around. No particular order at all. All right, think we're just about done with the leaves. So I start in the corners with my peonies, or with my mums, and then I can kind of get it set so I can figure out how much I'll need to stack in the center. And I kind of point them facing outward a little bit. Then I can give some of my others as I go around the border. Then I can give the others in the middle a little bit more height. And if you did trim those down just a little bit too short, you can go back to those wires and trim some longer wires. But there it is, the first DIY, quick, simple, and a nice effect for your end table. I thought that this turned out so pretty. Now, I do want to invite you to visit my friends for this collab. I have all of these great friends that will be on a playlist below, so please visit their channels and the playlist. DIY 2. I took this platter or tray from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to glue down a little bit of floral foam all the way across. I first glued each of the ends and then the middle. There we are. Now, I collected these pine cones, as I've kind of told you. Hit your parks or your neighborhood. Look at those pine trees. I have a couple of pine trees that have these, and they drop them at different times of the year. So I try to collect some because I know I will use them around fall and Christmas. So I just put a little bit of wire attached to the end of those. Then I decided this was too shiny, and if it did show, I might want that to be more of like a wood color, a little bit more fall colors. Turns out you probably won't need to paint it because the leaves are going to really cover this up. So it's totally up to you. As always, you want to personalize it. This is just inspiration. But when it comes down to it, you really don't see the tray much. Now to cover the floral foam, just in case anything peeks out, I put just a little bit of the Spanish moss, a little bit of hot glue to hold that in place. And as you can see, I did trim off a bunch of my leaves so that I will be ready to go. Now I start just like I did with my box. I'm going to kind of put these in the corners. And I kind of work out from there. I start from the bottom and I'm kind of layering and then I'll build up. But I wanted to go around with the different colored leaves. I do have some oak as well as a maple. All of these are from the Dollar Tree except for those two maples that come together. I did find those at Michael's and I just liked the size and I thought it just added a little bit more variance. But if you can see those yellow maple leaves, those are the ones with the fabric and they're such a nice quality. But just continue building this around until it looks the way you want it to look. And you kind of trim off a little bit here and there, just making it your own. See that leaf at the end? Isn't that pretty? It has the oranges and the reds. Oh, I love these. I showed those in my haul, so if you happen to see my haul, you'll see that. And my goodness, do I have so much more to craft. So stay tuned for my upcoming videos. I cannot wait, though, to watch the playlist and see what my friends have come up with. They also are doing leaves and fall flowers. So a little bit of inspiration before we hop into fall. As you guys know, we got to kind of go with what's in the stores and, stay up on the holidays for you. Now I'm going to take those pine cones that are on the wire and start tucking those in now that I have all the leaves set. In the center, you can see I have a little bit of a hole so that I can set a candle in there. And I'll show you that when I do the reveal here of the finished product. Now you could put it in the glass vase or you could just put the candle on there. I am using battery operated candles, but if it's in the glass vase, you could use a regular one. I am making this one for my brother and my sister-in-law's mantle so that they can put that in the center. They can put the candle in the middle, and then on each side they can put other pillar candles. So I know she's going with some vibrant fall colors this year, so hopefully she enjoys this. This might actually be her first peek at it. I haven't ran it over there yet. And here we are. Isn't that pretty? It just really looks like the leaves are stacked upon each other. You can make this, fit your decor. I really like how this turned out. Tell me below what you think or which one you ended up liking the most here. And here it is from the top. The candle is on. I don't know if you can really tell though. So pretty. Gosh, I love fall and the fall colors, just warm feeling. All right, DIY 3. I started off with some tumbling tower blocks, and I'm using that antique wax again. And this time I am just brushing it right on because these tumbling tower blocks just soak it right up. So I brushed it on, but I mixed it with just a little bit of water. So as you can see, I have the cap there. I just added a few drops of water and did the stain that way. Now I'm gluing these together in stacks of 3. You will want 4 stacks of 3. Super easy DIY also that you'll be able to use for several different DIYs in the future. All right, and now we're just going to glue this together and make a cute little planter. You could do so many different things with this one in the future with different ideas. Add a couple more blocks to it, make it a little bit bigger. But basically, I'm just gluing the 4 sides together here. Pretty simple. Again, quick and easy DIYs that look so neat. Now I just took one of those jumbo paint or craft sticks, and I'm going to put that across the bottom. And I will just brush that stain right on it. Again, just some watered down antique wax. And I'll do that on both sides just in case you would see inside. And then I'm actually going to put some floral foam down in there, and I'm going to use the sunflowers. Now with these sunflowers, do make sure you take, there's 2 layers of petals, and I go back and do this. You just want to twist them just a little bit. Take the petals between your fingers and just move them a little bit so you do see the layers of petals. Otherwise, they're kind of just stuck together. So now I'm taking some of that hula skirt that you've seen me do several DIYs with. I'm just putting it in there kind of like straw around the flowers. I just wadded that up and clipped it into little pieces right inside there, and instead of Spanish moss. Now I'm adding some of the extra leaves in there to make it just a little bit fuller across the bottom. But now I'm taking my heat gun, and any glue that I see there, I can just run across it, taking that extra craft stick and just wiping it off. Now I'm going across the flowers for any glue. This is a cheap hot heat gun. I think it was around $10. I can link that below for you if you're interested. Isn't that cute? And it goes with my hay bale that I did last week. And here's the mom again. Let's do a bit of a final reveal so you can remember what we did. We did do the mums earlier. Here's our sunflowers and that beautiful platter. I like it. It's just nice and long and will look gorgeous on a mantle. I'm sure you'll have some great ideas from this as well. So thanks for viewing my channel. Don't forget the playlist. I hope you've subscribed and you'll like this. It really helps my channel and helps YouTube to recognize that people are enjoying viewing this. Thank you so much.